Peace means to me the relationship between people that are very different, but that they can converge and do things together and respect each other, have different value sets, and just bring them to the table in a sense of being very calm and not being self-conscious of saying the right thing, just being free to be yourself within a group of very different people. There are many different obstacles to peace. Obviously, one of the biggest one, I think, is prejudice. Thinking that you know what the other person thinks or feels before you ask is, I think, the biggest of all the mistakes you ever make. And I also think that there's a huge obstacle to peace, which is the sense that people understand your point of view because they know what you mean. I mean, it's really hard to really put yourself into the shoes of another person and understand where they come from, why they're saying what they're saying, and what they're defending. Because especially in issues that have to do with peace, what we're referring to really is what do we defend? What do we want to protect? Like, especially when we talk about peace, we talk about the opposite, which is conflict. And in conflict, what you're trying is to protect and defend whatever it is that is dear to you, that you understand, that you consider as your mandatory value set. So I think that getting over those very high walls that we create around ourselves to protect ourselves requires a lot of effort, and it requires us to really understand how other people stand in the world. They're different because their experiences have been different. And we cannot judge who they are because they're coming from a different place. I think the biggest trait for overcoming the obstacles of peace is just listening. Part of my work in Colombia has to do with participatory and deliberative methodologies to create futures. And when you work with communities that are very excluded in rural areas, you tend to believe that because you are educated, you know better, and you don't. What you should know better is to listen more closely, because most of the solutions to the problems, most of the sources of conflict, these people understand and know better how to tackle. But because we always come in a very vertical relationship and a very condescending relationship, I think we ruin this capacity. So I think that the structural issue to take into account is, what do other people have to bring into the table? What is the position that they're bringing that point of view from? And really try to understand. Afterwards, you're going to have to argument and to explain your point and to say what you want. But it's crucial to first make a big effort to understand what the other one wants to bring in.